Hey everybody, it's Beth. Probably thinking to yourself, what's behind me? It's called my closet. It's a mess, so don't mind it at all. Anyway, um, right now I'm waiting for someone to Skype me. So, yeah. Anyway, today was, very long. Very, very long day. Anyway, so I was talking to some of my friends, and we were all talking of why you should and should not date. Well, let me give you a couple of reasons. No, some reasons why you should date. First of all, dating. It's all seeing what works for you, what you like in a person. Trying to find someone you love. All that. Like, if you don't date, I'm not saying throw yourself out there for everybody, but if you don't date or try to figure out what works for you or what works in a relationship, you learn how to maintain a relationship, you learn how to grow in a relationship, what makes a relationship, what's a good relationship and a bad relationship. If you don't learn all those aspects, then you can't expect yourself to get married and work everything out with your partner. Once you're married, you should just be married. You shouldn't try to get a divorce unless the circumstances are bad. But definitely dating helps you learn how a relationship should function. Now, not every relationship functions well. There's a lot that goes bad, but you get to learn what works. You can't be afraid of relationships. People do get hurt. I've been hurt in several relationships that I've been in. But, not everybody's the same. But you do have to be careful. I have a 3-month rule. I have to know you more than 3 months. And we have to hang out, like a hangout date at least twice by ourselves. A 3-month rule is kind of like just a safety net. If I really like the person, I'm not gonna go throw myself out there and just date random people. Now 3 months it's kind of soon, but I say no less than 3 months. No less ever than 3 months will I ever consider dating somebody. But most of the time it's like if I know them for a while, or definitely try to date when you're ready, not date because you're in high school or college. Date when you're emotionally ready and you think you're able to date. So definitely dating is a good thing. Let me tell you the reasons why you should not date. 1, you're limiting yourself. 2, you can get yourself into a whole bunch of situations that you don't want to be in. 3, you have to deal with the other person. 4, you have to put up with the other person and fix everything and try to worry about them as you're trying to worry about yourself. Now, out of this list, the good outweighs the bad. But there's several things that you have to think about. Are you ready to date? Are you emotionally ready to date? Do you like the person a lot? Do you know the person? So definitely look into that before you consider dating. Another thing is that if they just do the annoyingest little things, don't date them. Because, you gotta love everything about them. Even if, you gotta just learn how to love their bad things. If they pick their teeth, or they, are a horrible dancer. I'm just naming little things because I don't want to get into detail. But if you can't love those things, just don't be with the person, because honestly, that I'm not gonna just say that's shallow, but that you don't want to be married with them down the road, and just get irritated by every little thing that you just hate about them. You don't want that. Now if it's just leaving the toilet seat up, that's just stupid, because like all guys are going to leave the toilet seat up. Let's just be honest, it's a guy thing. But if it's like, something just that repulses you, just don't date them. Just be friends with them and move on from that. It's pretty much it. Dating, it's a commitment. I'm not gonna say it's not for everybody. It's definitely is for everybody. But it all depends on what time you're dating. Now, if you're a 12-year-old, I would not recommend you dating. I would recommend you liking somebody, hanging out in a public spot, have your parents like either be there or like close by just in case if something happens. Always keep your cell phone with you. But I wouldn't recommend the whole, boyfriend and girlfriend, let's go out by ourselves and all that stuff. Definitely have your parents somewhere close. Like if you are like, I would say if you're under the age of like 14, I would say like go out to the movies, like the mall, and have your like parents like in the mall. You know what I mean? Like not exactly next to you while you're watching a movie, because that's like kind of creepy. But like I would say definitely have them in reach, so that way if you need to contact them on your phone, if you have one, you're fine. Like there's that security there, and also they're your ride, so you don't want to make them leave and come back all the way to get you in an hour and a half. That's ridiculous. It's a waste of gas. So definitely, if you're planning on going to the movies, go to the mall, where you can contact your parents, especially if it's somebody that you're a little like you don't want to be by themselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's first time on a date, you know them, but you don't know them really well. Definitely do that. Yeah. If you do internet dating, definitely meet the person. Like, make sure like somebody that you know is close by, like that you can get a hold of. See who's in the area. That way, if you do have to be like, hey, come here, call to get you out of it. Definitely call somebody. Make sure someone's in route or around that you know. Meet in a public spot. Movies. Let's see. The mall. Well, the mall, but don't go out with them. Don't walk to their car. Don't go in a car. Don't go anywhere outside with them. Don't do that. Don't go in any, just be smart. Honestly, stay in lights. Don't ever schedule a online dating meetup for the first time at night, because, you can't see and it's really dangerous. I would say during the daytime, at a shopping center or at the mall, or movies, bowling. I mean, there's several things that you can do indoor that does not involve going outside and cars and dark alleys and all. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, try to be smart. Make sure there's somebody there, like en route, or you can do a double date. That's better. That's a whole lot safer. Make sure, just make sure you have your phone on you at all times. Make sure it's fully charged. Make sure you bring a charger, so if your phone starts to die on the date, you can plug it in and you're safe. But definitely don't do the whole go to his car thing, or let him drive you or pick you up at home. I say, like, if you're meeting somebody for the first time online, write their name, their number, any little description that you can possibly think of and stick it somewhere like that, like, on your door or something, so that way, not exactly on your door, but like somewhere that's kind of like visible, so if something did happen, your parents or your roommate or your guardian or your friend or somebody can like see it and it's visible, so that way they know like that's the last person staying with. Like even if it's something simple like his height, his eye color, when he goes by, his Facebook information. I don't know, just something, because not everybody you meet is going to be the person. What I recommend when I find safe is you talk to the person, for at least quite a while. I would say 3 months. That's just, to me, just a safe month thing. Anyway, so definitely get to know the person. Add them on Skype if you have Skype or Uvu or some other webcam thing, and just talk to them. You might not see how they act in real life, but you get to see that the person you're talking to is real, that they actually is a person, that they're real, they're not fake. But one thing, don't tell them where you live. Don't show them your Florida license online, because they can write down or pause and take pictures and all that stuff. Be smart. Don't show crap. Be modest. Don't say where you live. If they ask you where you live, just be like, oh, I live near, I don't know, I live in Orlando. I would say I live in Orlando on the east side. If they want any closer or anything, 20 minutes from the airport. Not giving you any more detail. I'm not saying what high school I went to. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'll be like, I went to high school, I go to college. Freshman in college. That's all you need to know. Unless if I feel really comfortable around you and we meet up, And we get along. Definitely be safe and be smart with anybody that you hang out with. Dating is fun. Dating can be a pain in the butt. Either way, it's up to you to choose. It takes 2 to make a relationship. It takes 1 to break it. Remember that. It takes 2 to make it, 1 to break it. 2 to make it, 1 to break it. Good night.